So on Sunday, Argentinian people go to the polls. It's looking likely that the winner will be the Cristina Fernández de Kirchner ticket, which is running under the Frente de Todos political alliance. And this will be an alliance that puts to an end 4 years of kind of very, very harsh austerity measures that the government of Cambiemos and President Mauricio Macri have been implementing in the last few years. Very kind of harsh cuts to public services, to an assault on the education system, the kind of liberalisation of the market, the kind of the raising of capital controls, but basically kind of selling off a lot of Argentina to finance capital. And of course we have to remember that one of the first things that President Macri did was to pay off the vulture funds, the kind of North American hedge funds, to the tune of $14 billion, and that set the trend really for the rest of his administration, which is becoming actually increasingly authoritarian as it went on, including kind of quite severe cracking down on social protest against the austerity measures, kind of manipulation of social media, and kind of all other kind of cracking down on different kind of critical voices. Now, when the Fernandez ticket comes in, and they'll almost certainly be in the first round on Sunday, because under Argentinian law it can go to a second round if the first party don't get sufficient votes, but it's looking very likely that they will succeed in that on Sunday. They are standing on obviously a progressive ticket, and arguably a return to what we call kind of pink tide thinking amongst kind of centre-left or left-wing governments. But they are going to be faced with a huge challenge, and that huge challenge is the absolutely enormous public debt that the Argentinian state has acquired since 2015, which is actually, in nominal terms, a greater debt now than it was even in 2001. And one of the things that the Argentinian government of Néstor and then Cristina Kirchner were managing to do was to fundamentally reduce Argentina's debt service by kind of writing off 2/3 of the debt through negotiation with the different creditors and so on, but also actually putting a lot of the debt back into pesos rather than dollars, which obviously makes it more difficult to serve if it's in a foreign currency. Macri's reversed all that, and the Macri government made it much, much worse, and now the Argentinian government will come in with this huge debt lying over it like a cloud. For that reason, I don't think it will be able to be quite as progressive as a lot of its supporters, certainly the supporters on the kind of more left wing of the kind of political alliance, the coalition, such as La Cámpora and other groups, the more kind of Cristina Kirchner part of the coalition, want them to do. But I think there will be quite a lot of tolerance and understanding because of the amount of debt that the Macri government has got themselves into. I think there'll be a combination of very serious and harsh kind of negotiation with the IMF and other creditors, backed up by the threat of non-payment. And actually, I would hope that the new Argentinian government returns to the question of the legitimacy of the debt, which has never been fully resolved. The origins of Argentina's debt lie, of course, in the dictatorship period when the Argentinian state committed genocide against 30,000 people. It murdered 30,000 people and tortured many more. And so under international law, actually, and including, by the way, under Argentinian law, in the Olmos case of 2000, the debt has odious and illegitimate origins, and actually, therefore, the successor debt also becomes odious and illegitimate. So this is something that I hope, personally, that the Argentinian government pursues a line on, and actually, they may have concerns, understandable and justifiable concerns about scaring off international credit, although we know that Argentina managed to, under the Néstor and then Cristina Kirchner, actually managed to cut themselves off from the financial markets and operate an extremely successful, economically successful government using kind of heterodox economic measures between 2003 and 2015. So I think there'll be a combination of those measures, perhaps not quite as radical as they were originally, but I think the key to this problem lies in how successful they are this time in terms of solving the debt problem, which has been a long-term cyclical problem in Argentinian politics, and really can only be kind of put to an end once and for all through the unilateral cancellation of the debt, the illegitimate part of the debt at least, following a debt audit, which is what they did in Ecuador under President Correa, and combined with kind of the return of the state and protection for certain industries in Argentina's economy, and the removal of the kind of financial liberalisation that leaves Argentina at the mercy of international finance capital.